Remote file inclusion. Remote file inclusion is a type of vulnerability most often found on PHP running websites. RFI vulnerabilities are easier to exploit, but it's rare. RFI to allow and run any file from any computer on the target web server. Let's look at an example here. The URL parameters with the value of file.txt was modified with the external website URL and try to access to the external website. Web server will access to the external website which is mentioned in the URL and includes that result and send it back to the attacker. This is what we call it as a remote file inclusion. It means it's not fetching the file locally, it is trying to fetch or access to the file or site externally. So that is what we call it as a remote file inclusion. It also allow attacker to include remotely hosted file through script on the web server. It means you can write your own payloads and reverse shells, download from attacker, execute it on web server and gain access to the target server. Right? If this is not clear to you now, wait, I'll demonstrate it in the lab so that you will have more clarity. RFI vulnerability occurs due to absence of user input validation. And also you can use Acunetics. It's an automated RFI tool which can run against the web server to detect and identify RFI vulnerabilities.